Recently, I made a video talking about how women don't want to date broke men. And I got a little bit of pushback from the video. Some people were saying things like, oh, you're making women out to be gold diggers and blah, 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 blah. Look, I ain't saying money is everything to women, but they still want a man who can provide. He doesn't have to be rich, but he can't be broke neither. Look at it like this. If you had a daughter and she said she was dating someone and it was getting serious, I bet money one of the very first questions you're going to ask is, what does he do? Because you want to make sure that your daughter is well taken care of. And there is not a woman on this planet who doesn't want security, who doesn't want stability, and doesn't want them and their children to be taken care of. There's plenty of research out there where they survey women, and overwhelmingly the women say they want a man who makes as much, if not more, than them. And research also shows that if a woman gets pregnant, most women would expect the man to take care of them while they raise the kids. So how do you expect to do that when you are barely taking care of yourself? These are the facts. And I know you guys seen the movies where the broke guy gets the girl, but this ain't the movies. This is real life. And even in the movies, when the broke guy gets the girl, he usually has some type of hidden talent that separates him from the rest. He ain't no regular schmegler type of guy. You know, he can usually draw really well, or he can sing, or turns out he's really intelligent. I mean, I ain't seen every movie that's out there, but pretty much every movie that I've seen where the broke guy gets the girl, he usually has some type of amazing potential to be great. I'll give you some examples. First, we got The Wedding Singer. Now, this is a great movie, right? We got this guy, Robbie Hart, who is a low-paid wedding singer who's living in his sister's basement in his 30s. I mean, he's pretty much a regular type dude with just a nice heart until right at the end when, boom, we find out that he's this amazing songwriter. And right before he kisses the girl, we have Billy Idol propositioning him to write for his music company. And see, they had to add that in because they don't want the audience thinking that they lived happily ever after living in his sister's basement. Next, we have Aladdin. And this guy was a straight bum. Literally. I mean, dude was out here stealing from innocent business owners. I mean, why don't you get a job, you bum? Anyway, Aladdin ain't no regular broke dude. First off, he had an amazing singing voice. I mean, who else do you know who can sing while fighting bad guys and not drop a single note? That's pretty impressive. Not only that, he was extremely clever. And look at that smile. I mean, dude may have been broke, but somehow he could afford a good dentist. And probably the biggest thing about Aladdin is he was a go-getter. If you wanted bread, he was going to get bread. If you needed apples, he was going to get you them apples. And even if you needed a magical lamp with a genie inside, he was able to deliver. So even though Aladdin was broke, he was a provider. But even after all of that, you'll notice that he didn't get a kiss from Jasmine until after he took her on a trip around the world. And you know how these hoes love to travel. Broke man can't do that. Broke man can't show you the world. Example number 3, love don't cost a thing. Sure, Alvin was broke and a bit of a nerd. He had no social skills whatsoever. However, he had a bright future as a mechanical engineer. I mean, dude could build an entire engine by himself. And he was in high school. So he was broke, but he wasn't going to be broke for long. I mean, you can look at him and clearly see that he had a bright future and money was coming his way. And you think that that wasn't in the back of Christina Milian's mind? Let's move on. Finally, we have The Notebook, and women love this movie. Perfect example of the broke guy getting the girl. But was he really broke? Let's examine the evidence. Sure, he didn't have a high-paying job. However, he was a hard worker, and he was able to save up to buy a house. An entire house. If you live in paycheck to paycheck, you ain't got no money to be buying a house. I mean, sure, it was a fixer-upper, but he had the money for the lumber. He had to pay for a electrician and a plumber. Unless he did that himself too. And if you're a man who has that many talents, you will never be broke. And it was so important that he got that house because, Pete, what if old girl showed up and he was living in some small 1-bedroom apartment? She'd be like, oh, my mom was right, because this ain't no way to live. So he worked a low-paying job, but he wasn't broke because he had talent, drive, and ambition. And when he set out to accomplish a goal, he got it done. And now that I think about it, old girl didn't even show up until after she found out that he got the house. So even in the movies, the guy has to show some type of evidence that he can be a provider before the woman fully buys in. And you can tell me how you see broke guys get girls all the time. Sure, any guy with game can get a girl to sleep with them or date them for a little while, but game is not enough to keep them, because as much as that girl loves you, she loves stability and security just as much. And you don't have to be rich to provide those things, but y'all can't be struggling either. I mean, love goes right out the window when that light bill is past due. But what can we learn from those individuals I highlighted? First, each one of them were extremely talented, which is why I tell men all the time to work on themselves. Find something you're good at and master it. You have to find some type of way to be useful. Second, each one of them always had the potential to earn money. They had the potential to be great, but their issue was ambition. They had to learn how to use the skills that they had so they can elevate themselves. And you can see at the end of the movie, when they finally did that, the end result was positive. The wedding singer got an offer to write music for a record label. Alvin managed to make his way to engineering school. The dude from The Notebook got his dream home. Aladdin, what did Aladdin do? I mean, Aladdin saved all of Agrabah, so you know he's set for life. Pretty much what I'm getting at is, if you're motivated, talented, and ambitious, you will never be broke, because that type of man will eventually work his way out the mud. And any man with those traits, whether you're poor or rich, are extremely sexy to women. That's all I got for this one. Let me know what you thought of the video. What points did you agree with? What points did you disagree with? Leave your comments below and let me know what you thought, and if you got anything out this video. Hit that like button. This is Agree to Disagree. I'm out.